Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of News 22. I'm Lauren Zenzi.
And I'm Molly Martin. It's been almost 20 days since Malaysia Flight 370 has disappeared, though the families of the 239 families have been notified of their loved ones' deaths. A question remains: what happened to Flight 370? In the search for answers, a Thai satellite has detected over 300 floating items in the southern Indian Ocean off of the coast of Perth, Australia. It is uncertain whether the debris belongs to the missing Boeing 777, but crews from 6 countries, including the United States, are still searching.
Let's hope he's loving it. Let's hope he's loving it. An 18-year-old from Norway now has a McDonald's receipt tattooed on his right arm. Stan Yitterdal of Lorenskog said his friends wanted to punish him for being, quote, too active with the ladies, unquote. His friends gave him the choice of either getting a Barbie tattooed on his butt or his fast food purchase on his arm. The tattoo, which takes up most of his arm, shows a receipt purchase that included a soda, cheeseburger, and a nonstop flurry. The tattoo parlor offered to ink the receipt they gave Yitterdal for the first tattoo on his left arm for free, and he has agreed.
The family of Suni Gill, an 8-year-old from Timberlake, Virginia, recently received a letter from her school in which the principal informed them that Timberlake Christian School is not the best place for Suni's future education. Because her dress and behavior were not feminine enough, the letter emphasized that Sunny, who sports jeans, sneakers, and a short haircut, could be denied continued enrollment in the school. According to the TCS guidelines, enrollment at the Bible-based institution could be refused to students who live in, condone, or support sexual immorality, or in other words, practice a homosexual lifestyle or alternative gender identity. Questions posed from Sunny's grandparents and guardians have asked, how do you label or discriminate against a child that's 8 years old? How do you tell a child who wants to wear pants and a shirt and go play in the mud that no, she can't? She has to wear a pink bow and you have to grow out your hair. The Thompsons are sticking with their decision and reportedly do not plan on re-enrolling in their granddaughter in the Timberlake Christian School.
Officials say 2 firefighters were killed this afternoon by a fast-moving, wind-driven fire that ripped through a Boston brownstone after they were trapped in the basement. Deputy Fire Chief Joseph Finn says he has never seen a fire travel so fast and escalate so quickly. He says firefighters rescued people from the upper floors of the multi-unit building in the Back Bay neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. The 2 firefighters went inside the building and then into the basement where it appears the fire started. They called a mayday 2 or 3 minutes after entering the building, but no one could be saved. No civilians were hurt. All of us here at News 22 send prayers to the families affected by this tragedy.
A woman whom 27 years ago was a newborn baby had been left abandoned in a Burger King bathroom says she found her birth mother just 3 weeks after launching a worldwide search. Catherine DePrill, also known as the infamous Burger King baby, said she felt pure joy when she met her biological mother for the first time this past Monday. DePrill began her request on March 2nd by posting on her Facebook page a photo in which she held up a sign that said, "Looking for my birth mother. She abandoned me in the Burger King bathroom only hours old. Please help me find her by sharing my post." The photo was shared more than 30,000 times by Facebook users around the world, and DePrill's story landed in numerous media outlets, which led the daughter and mother to meet. DePrill said her mother expressed regret during their meeting. DePrill said she forgave her and forgave her 100% absolutely.
This past Wednesday, Sacred Heart University had a hazmat situation causing school officials to cancel evening classes. They say a minor reaction of sulfuric and nitric acids occurred in a chemistry lab at about 2:45 p.m. Fairfield Fire Assistant Chief Chris Tracy stated that the first and second floors of the wing were evacuated just as a precaution. No injuries were reported, but all classes in that wing after 5 p.m. were canceled.
It was a frantic afternoon on Tuesday at the Bradley home in Meriden after 90-year-old William Radston went reporting missing from the nursing home. A silver alert was issued by the police, but thankfully he was found safe, but not anywhere you would think. Sergeant Darian McKay of the Meriden Police said that police at Mohegan Sun Casino called them at about 3:30 in the morning, saying that Radston was there and safe. Apparently, he owns a car and is allowed to leave the nursing home when he chooses. So, hey, what's wrong with a little gambling?
It looks like President Barack Obama's speech changed things for the better when the House of Representatives, in back-to-back votes Wednesday, March 26, 2014, passed the bill to raise minimum wage to $10.10 by 2017. I am proud that Connecticut is once again a leader of an issue of national importance. Increasing minimum wage is not just good for workers, it's also good for business, said Malloy. The National Employment Law Project says Connecticut is the first state to pass a $10.10 minimum wage bill, and similar proposals are being considered in Maryland, Massachusetts, Hawaii, and other states. President Barack Obama said in a statement on Wednesday, "Today, the Connecticut legislature took an important step towards raising the state minimum wage to $10.10 an hour and giving more Connecticut workers the raise they deserve." Way to go, Connecticut, on making the first move towards a very important issue.
And we'll be back with this week's editorial after this short break.
Danse, balance la cadence, on lève bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou, ton
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back. Now for this week's editorial.
Good evening, I'm Brian Frankovich with tonight's editorial. The alcohol policy on Eastern's campus, in my opinion, is disgraceful. Eastern's complete prohibition creates more problems than it fixes. This is college, and here we prosecute students for drinking alcohol. Administration needs to realize that learning responsible drinking is and has long been a part of the college social experience. I have heard of countless students on this campus in dangerous situations involving alcohol, too afraid to tell anyone or ask for help in fear of the severe judicial punishment. That is pathetic on the university's part. Your policies are scaring students in need of help away, whether they require medical attention or help regarding alcoholism. Eastern's Good Samaritan policy says students who report an alcohol-related medical issue may, the word may being bold and underlined, not be in judicial trouble. How reassuring. A good friend of mine ended up in Superior Court for just being under 21 and in a room with alcohol. Now, this person has been on the dean's list every semester, is a really good person, and most importantly, is completely abstinent from alcohol. He was just there. Yes, I guess it is written policy, but he did not deserve this severe of a punishment. And let's address these written policies for a moment. I tried to find them, and in searching the student handbook online, I was surprised at how little it actually mentions. Nowhere easily accessible does it mention police involvement, license suspension, or superior court involvement. Now, while these may be state policies, they should at the very least be outlined clearly to our students. And I might add, the policies that were outlined in the handbook were very hard to find and were ambiguous at best. The policies we have are also deterring potential students from coming here. Yeah, I know it may sound like a poor reason to not enroll in a school, but really it isn't. Legal adults simply do not want to be treated like children. If you're 21, you should be able to drink responsibly in the comfort of your own dorm room. That's your personal choice and shouldn't be the university's. Inflicting fear and harsh punishment on college students for drinking is simply ridiculous and is scaring them away from asking for help when they need it. And it's also noteworthy that most Ivy League institutions have very lax drinking policies. They understand that they need to accommodate for the inevitable fact that college students will drink. Underage alcohol drinkers at these Ivy League institutions usually do not risk criminal records as Eastern students do. They're often disciplined with online alcohol courses or essays, mainly on a 3-strike system, and if over 21 and drinking responsibly at one of these schools, you aren't breaking any rules. This is far more practical. What Eastern's policies are really doing is pushing the drinking problem off campus into the community. We've come up with the CLIP program to address the student alcohol issue in the community. But if regulated drinking on campus wasn't so inconceivable to the administration and wasn't forbidden, the problems would be more centralized to the actual campus and would be much easier and much more affordable to address. I've been told that the current policies are in place at Eastern to save money on insurance for the university. And all I have to say to that is let's start focusing on reasonable policies and the well-being of our students and community rather than focusing solely on budgeting. Call up Flo at Progressive. Maybe she can cut you a deal that doesn't require pigs to fly to get a discount. It's just at the very least that legally aged students should be able to drink under regulation without risking fines and expulsion. This is a state college, not a state prison. For News 22, I'm Brian Frankovich. Cheers, Eastern.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
On March 28th at 7 p.m. in the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium, ECSU Arts and Lecture Series will present 64th Secretary of State of the U.S., Madeleine Albright. She served as the U.S. Permanent Representative to the United Nations and was also president of the Center for National Policy. She will speak about economy and security in the 21st century. Tickets are free to all students, and students can receive Dean's Cup points. Be sure to reserve seats at the Student Center Information Desk.
ECSU and UConn's campuses have stumbled upon a bit of fame after being chosen to be featured in an upcoming independent film called The House of Dust. It's based on a true story from a New York Times article about an old abandoned state mental hospital in Oregon. So if you're looking for a night of horror, come on down to see The House of Dust on March 29th at 9:30 p.m. and get a sneak peek of the famous ECSU and UConn's campuses featured in this independent film.
ECSU has been recognized as a top college in the state for students who are interested in military service by the College Database, an online directory of the U.S. colleges The nonprofit organization provides free information about national and local education to students. The website set out to find the post-secondary institutions in Connecticut that offered an annual tuition of less than $20,000 a year and offered at least 2 ROTC programs. Eastern ranks first in Connecticut with an extremely affordable $4,124 annual tuition rate while offering Army and Air Force ROTC programs.
The Hunger Hurts food drive will be taking place on campus Monday, March 31st and Tuesday, April 1st as part of an ongoing campaign to stop hunger. Project coordinator Nicole McBride and her team of student volunteers will be going door to door in each of the residence halls to collect non-perishable items. All donations will be given to the Covenant Soup Kitchen to help stop hunger in our community. Collection centers are also located in Gelsey Young and the Communication Office, now until April 5th. If you wish to volunteer, please contact Nicole directly at mcbriden@my.easternct.edu.
Ever want to do something for a good cause? Help out those going through a tough time? Well, now is your chance. On Sunday, April 6th, people will have the chance to donate their hair to Beautiful Lengths. Their goal is to make free wigs for cancer patients. The event will take place in the Betty Tipton Room and will be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., so come on down and donate your hair for a great cause. For more information, email arist@my.easternct.edu.
Seniors, with graduation just around the corner, what better way is there to celebrate than spend a day at Mohegan Sun? Tickets are only $10 and include transportation to and from the casino, along with a meal voucher to be used at any of the restaurants at Mohegan. To attend, you must be a graduating senior eligible to walk at the commencement and be at least 21 years of age with a valid form of identification. This event is on April 11th from 6 p.m. to midnight. For further questions, contact Casey Bandera.
With the end of the semester just around the corner, stress begins to build. Campus Activity Board wants you to take a step back from the stress and enjoy Eastern Spring Fest. On April 25th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Sports Center parking lot, come enjoy rides such as the Ferris wheel and the Scrambler, eat fried dough, or play carnival games for a chance to win prizes. This is an event you don't want to miss.
Has this cold weather been getting you down lately? If so, you're in luck. What better way is there to get you into warm weather mode than listening to reggae bands and drinking smoothies? On April 4th from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., Eastern's Campus Activity Board will be hosting a music lounge featuring reggae music. This event is free for all students and will be in the Student Center in the Betty Tipton Room.
And we'll be back with this week's sports after this short break.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And we're back with this week's sports.
Hi everyone, I'm Danny Fallon with This Week Sports. Eastern's women's lacrosse team has gone off to a slow start, but has shown improvement. In the first 3 games, they were averaging only 3 goals a game. However, over the past 4, they have brought that average up to 9 goals a game. This past Tuesday, the Lady Warriors played Bridgewater State at home and fell 18-8, but they did show flashes of potential championship caliber team with good defense and a solid offensive attack early in the second half when they were only down by 3. They will face their first in-conference opponent this Saturday at Rhode Island College when Rhode Island College comes to town. Rhode Island College has typically struggled over the years, and this should be a great opportunity for the Warriors to rebound and start 1-0 in the LEC. They'll rally behind leading scorers Aaron Kahn, Ashley Walk, and Paige Schneider. Good luck, Warriors, on Saturday's game. Eastern's men's lacrosse team is now back to .500 on the year. The Warriors are 4-4 on the season and are heading into conference play this Saturday at the University of Southern Maine. The Warriors took on the University of New England at home last Thursday and won 11-8. However, they played Stevens College the following Tuesday on the road and lost 14-7. For the men, it's been senior preseason All-American pick Mike Devine and senior Mike Jordan, who have been dominating, scoring over 15 points each. Senior Tyler Fredson leads the team in assists, and Eastern will look to these 3-star players to help them win their first conference game of the season. With the first weekend of the NCAA's Men's March Madness tournament in the books, there were Bevel upsets and dramatic finishes. North Dakota State, a 12 seed, defeated the Oklahoma Sooners 80-75 to earn their first victory in tournament history. Stephen F. Austin, also a 12 seed, pulled off an upset after defeating Virginia Commonwealth 77-75 in overtime. Mercer, a 14 seed out of the Atlantic Sun Conference, beat the Duke Blue Devils 78-71. The Dayton Flyers, the 11th seed out of the South region, have reached the Sweet 16. Dayton had 2 huge wins last weekend after beating not only Ohio State, but the Syracuse Orangemen as well. They will face off against the Stanford Cardinals, who also defeated 2 quality teams in New Mexico and the Kansas Jayhawks. Lastly, the Yukon Huskies earned a 7th seed in the East region where they defeated St. Joe's and Villanova. Shabazz Napier led the Huskies with 24 and 25 points respectively in the 2 victories. UConn will now face Iowa State in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night in New York at Madison Square Garden. Players at Northwestern University have cleared the first major hurdle in their closely watched unionization effort. With help from an official of the National Labor Relations Board, they are determining that the players are employees and thus eligible to vote in a union election. The players' case is largely hinged on the argument that athletic scholarship constitutes a form of payment in exchange for work. That's all for sports. I'm Danny Fallon for News 22. Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks for watching News 22. If you want to see any of our past shows, go to YouTube and search the News 22 TV 22 channel. I'm Lauren Zenzi.
And I'm Molly Martin.
Have a great weekend, Eastern.